Hey, Derek, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
We're just figuring it out, brother. How are you?
I'm gonna make it.
I hope I am too. Good deal. What's up, man?
So I guess I don't know where to start, like everyone, but so I guess the moral of my story here, the root of my question is, I have this problem. So I've been married to my wife for not quite 2 years now, about a year and a half, and I'm in it. We're in it. I'm fully committed, like this whole joint, the two become one and everything is ours, right? And so and then that's how we live. We share money. We do everything together, but I constantly keep going back to referring to things as like mine. And I'll say just the other day we were getting a generator installed and I said, oh, I need to go check on my generator. It's not my generator. It's our generator, but it's my house. It's I always refer to stuff like that. And I don't want to, and I don't live that way. And I just don't know how. I try to change it. I try to catch myself, when I hear I'm in a conversation, I'm saying something, I'll hear the I come and I'll try to correct it to we or something like that. But, this is my second, it's both of our second marriages. And she has, told me that it makes her feel like we're less, that this marriage is less than my first marriage. So I just, you give I love your advice you give to people. I can use it on a lot of cases into myself. And so I just wanted to hear from you as maybe actions I can take to not do that, or mindset change or something.
Yeah, I appreciate that, dude. And I appreciate you trying to work on that. That's awesome. Hearing your wife and wanting to do something different. Tell me about your first marriage, man.
So it was stereotypical, I guess, right? I met her at work and we, same religious background. So we clicked, pretty quick and, married and, engaged and married in, 2 years. And, we were married for 12 years altogether.
And how did that wind down?
She actually passed away just before COVID started.
Tell me about that.
It was weird. It was I would say, sudden, mysterious series of medical issues that we never really got closure on. It was about 6 months worth of constant doctor's visits until she kind of went downhill real quickly in the end.
Wow, dude. What was her name?
Emily.
Pretty awesome.
Oh, she was fun.
Yeah. And how long after she passed away did you meet your new wife?
Well, I initially met her back in high school.
Oh, rad. Okay. So
yeah,
you like
actually,
Dawson's Creek this way.
we were prom dates.
Gross. I don't want to wait.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Good for you. Okay, so you rekindled with your prom date.
Yeah.
This is going to be a weird question. Are there inequities in your marriage? Are you a gajillionaire and she's not, or is she a gajillionaire and you're not?
Yes, I would say that. Yes, there are inequities.
Oh, there are. Okay, walk me through them.
Yeah, I mean, so me and my previous wife, we were, double income, had a house together, and no real big deal, with finances. She had been divorced for like 6 years, separated and divorced, right? So like 6 years, and she's got 4 kids, and so she was a single parent in large part for years. And
your new wife
went back to college. Yeah, my new wife. Yeah.
All right.
So so I was financially, I'm okay. I was done really well, and she's made it, but it's been a struggle, and I'm happy to be I'm glad I'm in a position that it's less of a struggle for her, right? And that's never been there was never an issue in our dating where I looked at that as like, financially, you're not at the same level as me. Like that was never something that deterred me at all.
Here's the two, and I'm fishing here. Okay, I don't know for certain. You seem like a great guy. Okay, so I'm fishing here. I want you to go back and listen to this conversation when you get a chance. It's small, but you and your first wife, had a house together. Y'all did things together. And in your new relationship, that's mine.
Right.
And I'm wondering if you fully metabolized her passing. I'm wondering if you've truly let her go. And I have sat with people who are passed away from mysterious illness, and the only thing I think more catastrophic is, and again, there's not levels to loss. There's trauma, and all that. But when I talk about grasping for ghosts, and I've never personally experienced this, so this is just me sitting with people. Either somebody disappears and they can't find them, they can't find their body. They know somebody drowned, but they never find them. And somebody who dies of an illness that nobody can really pin down. It's like trying to hug a ghost. It haunts you in a different way than somebody gets cancer and passes away. And it has again, this is just anecdotal to me sitting with people. There hasn't been a whole bunch of them, right? So my first question is, I'm wondering if you're still hanging, and I wouldn't fault you. I wouldn't say you're a bad guy. But if there's something like, no, I was married and now I'm doing this other thing, versus at some point deciding I'm going to let my first wife go. And then this is going to be our stuff. The second thing is, when you experience a really significant loss, you tend to walk through the world a little more guarded and a little more, I make these decisions, y'all make those decisions. And the idea, the scary V word, vulnerability, that I'm going to risk getting hurt again in any way, is really a tough challenge to overcome. And I'm wondering if unintentionally, right, way back in your nervous system, that you're hedging. Because if I fully enmesh in somebody else, if I fully go all in again, I may have to experience what I experienced last time. And so this is mine, that's yours. By the way, I'm happy to help, almost in a dad kind of way, almost in a paternal kind of way, like I'll take care of it kind of thing, which is going to be the doomsday for your new marriage, right? It has to be I'm not better than you, man. I married well first time around, and we had some good money, and we did things together, and we set up some things up, so now we got launched out of a cannon in marriage too. So does any of that ring true, what I'm saying? And you tell me, dude, you're out to lunch, or if you're like, no, that kind of hits in my guts.
Well, anything's possible, right?
Sure.
And that's exactly why I called, because I want to know those avenues. But I don't hear it and say, yeah, that's it. Like I'm gonna have to sit on it and digest it. But I know I am. I mean, I do feel like I've passed. I guess I want to say I've settled, or I've dealt with her past.
You've let her go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I feel I've come to terms. I know I did all I could do, and there's nothing looking back on it. I couldn't have done anything differently, right? And I know that, at least I have that in my mind.
What does your new wife? What does she contribute now? Like, does she actually click the bills to pay them online? Does she make budgets? Does she have a job? What does she do?
So we just started her own business. Okay. So she's doing her own thing. So the income is a little more scarce, but she's active and involved in everything.
Go back to the questions I asked. Y'all do it. Like, who actually does this stuff?
Yep. So we do like the whole Dave Ramsey budget stuff.
Okay.
Where she actively is updating that and going through that. And she participates in budgets and does that. So it's all from a money standpoint, it's all out there, and we know, and we say, okay, hey, we're negative this month for these reasons, and we have those open discussions.
Well, what I'm wondering is less about the openness in the discussion, because if you learn one thing when you're going to doctor after doctor after doctor, you learn to just talk about stuff, right? So you know how to have hard conversations, probably better than most. What I'm wondering is she fully participating in your house in a way that you're able to exhale, or are you running the show? Often when I find myself, here's a good example. I rarely, if ever, say the words, my show. It's got my face and my name on it. Dude, without all of these people like making this thing happen, I'm just a knucklehead on a street corner yelling really loud, right? It's ours. It's our show. It's the show. It's the thing that we all do together. And when I see people, when it gets out of whack, when they feel like they're doing the lion's share of everything and they're the most important player, they're the star of the team, it's easy to say, like, my team. Kobe Bryant said, my team. He had another Hall of Famer on that. He's like, this is my team. And that's how he looked at it versus, no, this is ours. This is us. And so I'm wondering, on a day-to-day basis, are you allowing her to participate? Is your hands open enough in the daily flow of the household that you're watching and experience her being an active participant, an active member of the decision making and the action steps of this home?
Yeah. So in large part, yeah, I can think of a couple. There are some times where I unilaterally have made decisions, yeah, and just said, well, I'm going to do this and whatever. But
how does that sit with her?
Horrible.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I would be willing to bet, and again, thanks for letting me kind of poke around and see. If I'm you, that's where I would start. Number one, I would sit down and say, hey, I talked to the dude on the radio, talk to the podcast guy. I want you to be 100% full-fledged, like, we're doing this thing together. Would you be willing to write some things down? Because I know I'm a lot. I'm a full presence here. So would you write some things down, and then we can talk about it over dinner, over breakfast one day? Ways that you feel like I edge you out from decision making, from ideas. It could be something as small as paint color or flowers in the yard, or it could be parenting stuff. It could be how we're investing our money, how we pay bills, things that we buy. Would you let me know some, like, the ways that you feel like I step over you, I'm trying to act like your dad, or I dismiss you or belittle you? My guess is you're from time to time, but I bet it's way more. And I don't think you're a bad guy for it. I think you are just trying to make sure your home is as great as your home could be. You've had a good home before with somebody else. You've been through hell in a home before. You're going to make this thing good. You're going to make it great. She clearly can't operate her money. I'm going to take care of it. She clearly is a single mom. I'll take care of it. And that's something that you'll have to build together. And my guess is the more active her participation in this thing, the more it's y'all's instead of just yours. The second thing is, I want you to start a gratitude practice, but not in a cheesy way. I want you to make a plural gratitude practice with your wife. Go to store today and get a stationery store, Walmart, Walgreens, wherever, get a small journal, and I want you to keep it on your bed. And I want you to write 3 to 5 things every single morning. I'm so grateful for our home. I'm so grateful for our wild sex last night. I'm so grateful for our sitting on the front porch holding hands. I'm so grateful for our retirement, that we're okay. And I want you to begin to practice that, and I want you to leave it on the bed, and her job is to write 3 to 5 things at night. I'm so grateful for and we're going to practice this together. And I guarantee you, over 30 days of doing this, you in the morning, her in the evening. In the morning, you're going to read what she wrote, and in the evening, she's going to read what you wrote. And maybe you write each other a little note. But you're going to begin to practice this. And as you feel angsty, I want you to lean into those angsty moments. I'm so grateful for our home. And your body goes, it's my home. That's it. Let's lean into that. But let's ask her, where is she a participant? Give her some, like, Share some roles, share some of the responsibilities, and not just the little stuff like cooking and make sure the dishes are put away. Some of the big stuff, decisions. Where are we going to live? How are we going to do life? Where are we going to eat? What are we going to do with the kids? And just begin to practice. Every day, 3 to 5 times, I'm going to write it down. I'm so grateful for hour. I'm so grateful for hour. I'm so grateful for hour. Start there, my brother. Holler back, man. I'm interested to see how this plays out for you, and I appreciate the call.